Hey everybody, so lots of talk about this dynamic lighting system that I've seen, so I wanted to kind of do an update to a previous video where I dive into the dynamic lighting and explore some of the new features that have come out in the new dynamic lighting system. So to get started, going in and making sure that just like before, your dynamic lighting is turned on. And then I like update when token drops so that the players aren't kind of like previewing what's going to happen before they drop their token. That's just fun for me. Because remember, lighting is all about building drama into the game. So you're hiding what people can see. It's a dramatic element. So I like to use that, you know, update when token drop, not before. Okay, so once you have your dynamic lighting activated, make sure to go through and set up your barriers. And I covered that in the previous video, which I'll put in the upper left here, or upper right. And again, you can see here, I've blocked off walls and I've blocked off this area here. It's a dramatic reveal that there's this well here and it's part of the story. So a couple things I liked with the new lighting system. So if I go and highlight our character and have a look here, we can see total blackness. This character doesn't have vision, so let's turn on vision for the character. All right, so the character appears. And I don't have any light sources set up here right now. So no light sources set up in the level. And as we looked here at our dynamic lighting, everything's blocked, so we don't see anything. But in reality, that's not really what happens, right? We have windows that are bringing in light. So let's imagine we have some windows here that are bringing in light from the outside. We have all kinds of stuff there. So I'm going to use night vision and setting it to the character can see 15 feet just at night. And this coloring, I really like this. So you can select out what color you want to use it. So I like kind of a dark green here. I'm going to go with a little darker green because I feel like it really emulates night. Now, if I go as that character, I can see, and again, it's Control L to see what the character sees. I can see, that some space around me. Now it's up to you. Maybe in your setup you want to really bring it in tight. So maybe for your scenario you only want 5 feet, and you go here and you can see just a little bit around you. It's like, aha, door. Use light for dramatic element, but don't use it to frustrate your players. So give them some space. Okay. I don't want the players to have to be right on top of the door to see there's a door there in this scenario. You might want to in your scenario. All right. The other thing is here, see how I'm snapping to the grid? Just as a reminder, that's on your page settings, and you have your grid enabled, and you restrict light movement so that you can't move through your lighting features. If you turn off the grid, you're no longer restricted to the grid. So, okay. So now, if I go look out here, and I see, I like that it's got this kind of darkness around me, that it's kind of like nighttime, versus just full brightness. If I were to go turn dynamic lighting off here, and go back to view as the player, you can see everything. It's super bright. It doesn't look like it's nighttime outside or any of that stuff. So I like that night vision capability there. It's not just for elves. Okay, so here we are. As I move around, that night vision carries with me, and I just like that, the way that looks. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, so there is that part. Now back over here. The next thing is I come into here, I have my night vision on, which is neat, but I want this light to give me some light here. So I've added a transparent icon here that I'm going to double click, and I'm going to use this new feature here that I kind of like. So I'll say we have 10 feet here, and directional light. All right. And I'm going to say it has 180 and it starts at the center of 180. Let's take this off for now and just see what we get here. Okay. So at 180 degree light here, I'm going to bring it into the center here. And we look at the player, see what they see. So I'm going to bring this character back. So you can see here's my invisible texture that I have, and I've used it set to is drawing, so I'm not bound to the grid. Even though I want the characters to be bound to the grid, drawings are not bound to the grid. And what I've said is that I have a direction of light, and it's 180 degrees from 0, which is straight up. Now what I can do with this is go through, and this is a little bug I've noticed. Hopefully it'll get fixed very, very soon. But to get that directional lighting, you have to turn it, you just turn it on. So 180 degrees, and I say that the center is at 180 degrees. So the center right now is right here. Imagine if we spun this thing all the way around, that it's down here at the bottom. So 180 degrees. Now I have that angle that I want here. So let's click on this guy again. We're going to drag it right over here to this light. And now when I bring my character in here and turn them on, we now have that nice brighter light. Because if I were to take this away, come back here, it's this dark light. I bring it back, brighter light. So kind of emulating, I have a bright light here, it's directional, it's good stuff. Now this comes in handy when working with your fireplace here. So I've already put one here, and I can go in here and I can say emits low light, and we'll say it does 15, and directional, I'm going to say again 180 at 180, but maybe I actually want it to be slightly more, so let's do 200. Why not? There we go. So it kind of comes around on the edges too. So let's drag our character in there. Let's see what it looks like. So here we can see we got a little bit of light coming from the night vision of the character, and the light there from the fireplace. But notice when I'm back here, all I see is the fireplace. All right, just like we would in a real room where the brightness of the fireplace is dimming out everything behind it. Okay, so there's lots of neat stuff you can do with this directional lighting. I'm going to be creating a video here of creating flashlights using the directional lighting. It's pretty neat stuff. And, I think it's definitely worth a check out. I've really enjoyed the new dynamic lighting capability because you can do things like changing that night vision to be bright yellow. And now it gives the room kind of a warm light. So imagine kind of using some of these techniques to be changing the light, night vision light, based on the color of the lighting in the room. You can get some really neat effects with that. So pretty neat stuff, combining the macros with dynamic lighting. That's in my next video. So hope you enjoyed this. Just basics of using some of the new features in dynamic lighting, and we will see you next time.